Dear students, welcome you all for the sixth session of the third chapter of Goods and Service Tax, that is Business Taxation 4, sixth semester, Mangalore University, BCom. So in this session, we are going to discuss the concept of time of supply in detail. So my presentation for this session will include meaning of time of supply, then time of supply for goods, then time of supply for services. Now let us discuss the meaning of time of supply. So the GST has to be paid at the time of supply of goods or services. That's why determination of time of supply is very important under GST, because from that time or at that moment or at that time, the seller has to pay the tax or pay the GST to the government. So the GST must be paid at the time of supply. Now what is time of supply? So time of supply means the point of time when goods or services are considered as supply. It could be any moment of time in a day. So that moment the goods and services are considered as supply. So when the seller knows the time, it helps him to identify the due date for payment of taxes. CGST, SGST, IGST must be paid at the time of supply. Now there are different provisions to determine the time of supply for goods and also time of supply for services. So now let us discuss. So what are the provisions with regard to time of supply for goods? So first one is time of supply for goods under forward charge or normal supply. We have already discussed what is forward charge. So forward charge means, so here seller has to pay the tax by collecting it from the buyer. Reverse means instead of seller, buyer has to pay the tax. So this is considered as a normal supply. Now under normal supply, what is the time of supply for goods? So it is earliest of 3 dates. That is, first one, date of issue of invoice, or last date for issue of invoice, or date of receipt of payment. So in these 3 dates, whichever is the earlier will be considered as time of supply for goods. Now what is last date of issue of invoice? So it is the date which is mentioned in the invoice, or on which date you issue the invoice. The last date for issue of invoice. So GST prescribes last date for issue of goods under different circumstances. For example, when there is a movement of goods, when there is no movement of goods involved, or date of receipt of payment. Now with regard to date of receipt of payment, there are 2 dates we have to consider. That is, the date on which payment was entered in the books or date on which payment was credited in a bank account. So in these 2 dates, whichever is the earlier should be written here, should be considered for date of receipt of payment. And by comparing all the 3 dates, whichever is earlier should be the time of supply for goods under forward charge. Now what is the time of issue of invoice for goods? As I told you, GST has prescribed time of issue of invoice for under different circumstances. So first one is when there is a movement of goods involved in the supply. So what is the time of issue of invoice when there is a movement of goods involved in the supply? It should be before or at the time of removal of goods. So if there is no movement of goods involved in the supply, then the time of issue for goods is before or at the time of delivery. It should be before the delivery or at the time of delivery of goods, or making available to the recipient. Whenever you are making available the goods to the recipient, so that date should be considered as time of issue of invoice for the goods. Then if there is a continuous supply. So what is continuous supply? Continuous supply means it involves repeated supply of goods and services on a periodical basis. For example, supply of oil, or supply of milk, or supply of construction items, supply of cement. So it is for continuous basis. So in that case, what is the time of issue for goods, issue of invoice for goods? So it should be earliest of the following, that is, time when each statement is issued or time when each payment is received. So time of issue of invoice for continuous supply is the earliest of the 2. That is, whenever you issue the statement or whenever you make you receive the payment. So under these 2 dates, one date which is earlier will be considered as time of issue of invoice for goods under continuous supply. Then last one, if goods sent for approval. So what is the time of issue of invoice for goods? Again, it is earliest of the 2 dates, that is, time when it becomes known that supply is taken place, or 6 months from the date of removal. So either of the two, whichever is earlier, is considered as time of issue of invoice for goods. Now let us discuss time of supply for service under forward charge, that is normal supply. So time of supply for services under normal supply is earliest of the 3 dates, that is first one, date of issue of invoice, that is the date on which you issue the invoice. Then date of receipt of advance or payment, it could be advance or payment, or date of provision of services. So date of provision of services only in case if invoice is not issued within the prescribed period of time. And with regard to date of receipt of advance and payment, we have to always consider earlier of the two, that is, so date on which payment was entered in the books or date on which payment was credited in the bank account. So one date which is earlier should be considered for date of receipt of payment. So whichever is earlier should be considered as time of supply for services. Then, if you are unable to find out the time of supply for services under these circumstances, under the above circumstances, then the time of supply for such services shall be the date on which the recipient, one who receives the service, shows the receipt of services in his books of account, shall be the date of or time of supply for services. So that is only in case above provisions are not applied. Above provisions are not applied, or if you are not able to get all these 3 dates, then we have to consider recipient, when he shows the services in his books of account. Now let us discuss time of issue of invoice for services. So time of issue of invoice for services can be for 2 cases, that is for all the cases and then for banking and financial institution. So let us discuss for all the cases. So all the cases except banking and financial institution, it should be within 30 days from the date of supply of service, they have to issue the invoice. Then in case of banking and financial institution, it should be within 45 days from the date of supply of services, they have to issue the invoice. Now time of supply of goods under reverse charge. So what is the time of supply of goods under reverse charge? It is earliest of the again 3 dates, that is first one, date of receipt of goods. So this is not applicable in case of services, date of receipt of goods. Then date of payment, then date immediately after 30 days from the date of issue of invoice by the supplier. So that is date after 30 days from the date of issue of invoice by the supplier in case of goods. In case of services, it is 60 days. So 3 dates, date of receipt of goods, it is not applicable for the services. Then date of payment, there are 2 dates we have to consider, that is date of entering in the books of account and date of payment credited to the bank account. 2 dates we have to consider. Then date immediately after 30 days from the date of issue of invoice by the supplier. So whichever is earlier shall be considered as a time of supply of goods under reverse charge. So if it is not possible to determine the time of supply under the above provisions, that is A, B, C, then the time of supply shall be the date of entry in the books of account of the recipient of supply. So here reverse charge means receiver has to pay the taxes. So whenever he enters the entry in his books of account, then that date shall be considered as the time of supply of goods under reverse charge. If these 3 dates are not available only, then only it can be considered. Then date of payment, as I said you, date on which the payment was entered in the books, date on which payment was debited in the bank account. So why debited? Because here receiver has to pay, receiver of the goods has to pay the tax. So money will go out from his account. So that's why it is debited in his bank account. So here only one date has to be considered for date of payment. So whichever is earlier shall be considered as time of supply of goods under reverse charge. Then time of supply for both goods and services for vouchers. So vouchers are not the goods nor the services. So they are called as gift cards. So whenever you go to a shopping mall, if you buy something in a bulk, you will get some vouchers. It can be redeemed. So whenever it is redeemed, it is considered as a supply. So what is the time of supply in case of vouchers for both goods and services? So it should be date of issue of voucher. So whenever the trader or businessman issue the voucher, that date should be considered as the time of supply. So if the supply can be identified at that time. So especially in the case of single purpose vouchers like food vouchers from a hotel or recharge from a data plan company. So they will give some vouchers. So on the day of issue of vouchers shall be considered as a time of supply. Then, or the date of redemption of voucher. If the supply is not able to be identified, then the date of redemption of voucher shall be considered as time of supply. So that is example in a shopping mall or in a showroom. So whenever you redeem your voucher, that day will be considered as time of supply for goods and also services. Then time of supply in all other cases not covered in any of the points that we have discussed till now, then there are only 2 dates to be considered. That is the date on which you file the returns or date on which you pay the tax. You should do at least 2 things definitely. Either you have to file the returns or either you have to pay the tax. So that date will be considered as the time of supply. So that date on which return has to be filed, or in any other case, the date on which tax is paid. And suppose if there is any increase in the value with respect to an addition in the value of supply, such as interest, late fee, NLT, etc. So if this is paid, then there is an addition in the value of supply. So what happens? What is the time of supply? So very, very simple. So here time of supply shall be whenever you receive this, okay, interest or late fee or penalty will be considered as time of supply. Date on which supplier receives such addition in value will be considered as time of supply. So thank you. That's all from this video. Thank you for watching this video.